In this video, we're going to show you some new commands that are going to help us down the road a ways. The first one is going to be we're going to create a new plane to draw on. Then we're going to use the Convert Entities option in the Sketch toolbar. And then we're going to use the Feature Mirror command as well. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is create a new plane so that we can draw up here. So in order to do that, from the Features toolbar, I'm going to come over here to Reference Geometry and down to Plane. It asks me for my first reference. I'm going to click on that surface right there. You can see my new plane come in, and I can adjust that wherever I want that new plane to be. If I want it underneath, I can put it underneath. But we're going to put that at 2 inches right now. And I'm going to hit the check mark. Notice over here in my design tree, I have plane number 2 that I can use to draw on. So I want to draw on that plane. So I have it selected right now. Let's go ahead and take it normal 2. And I'm going to put a sketch on that. And what I want to do is I want to copy this outline onto plane number 2. Remember, that other surface is clear down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called Convert Entities. So I'm going to click on Convert Entities. I'm going to click on that surface and hit the check mark. And what it does is it takes that surface down here that I clicked and projects it onto this plane up here so that I have an exact copy. So I'm going to use the check mark. That's exactly what I want. I'm going to go to the Features and I'm going to extrude that, and I can put my distance whatever I want that to be right here. Let's make that 0.25 check mark. All right, now what I'm going to do is I need to just draw a reference line on a plane. And I happen to have the front plane right in the center of my object. So I'm going to put a sketch on that, and let's turn it normal 2. And if I click that again, it'll go around the other way. Either way is okay. And I'm going to come down. My reference line is going to be a center line. And I'm going to go from this point, which is in the center, to this point right here. And I want to make sure I attach that. And I have that as a reference line from midpoint to midpoint. I'm done with that line now, so I'm going to hit the Rebuild button. Remember, if it's a gray sketch, it's not active, so I do not have an active sketch right there. Next thing I want to do is draw a circle on this surface down here. So I'm going to sketch on that surface. So I'm going to turn on my sketch, draw a circle on that point right there. Let's go ahead and dimension that. And let's make it a 1-inch diameter circle. I lied. Let's make it a little smaller than that. Let's make it 0.5. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the Extrude button. So I'm going to extrude boss base, but instead of going straight up with that, I want it to follow this diagonal line right here. So I'm going to click in this little button right here. It's for the direction of extrusion, and I can click on that line, and I want that to go into and match perfectly up with this surface up here. So where it says blind, I can click on the down arrow, and let's go up to surface, and I'm going to click on that surface and it'll intersect that surface perfectly. I'm going to hit the check mark again, and there is one of my extrusions on the diagonal right here. Now instead of doing that whole process over here again, I have a right plane is directly in the center, and I did that on purpose so that I could use that to my advantage. This time I'm going to use the Mirror command on the Features toolbar. So I'm going to click on that. It already knows that my right plane is the one I'm going to mirror around. Now it's asking me for the features to mirror. I'm going to click on my extrusion right here, and I'm going to hit the check mark, and now I have my diagonal in there. So reviewing again, I made a reference plane off of this one using reference geometry and plane. Then I used the Convert Entities button so that I could match my profile exactly on the upper side. Then I used a reference line to follow my path of my extrusion. And then finally I used the Mirror features command to mirror that solid across my plane, which was in the middle, my right plane.